Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 Drive Career Mode with Ferrari, episode number 65 today for the Bahrain Grand Prix of Season 5, round number 2. Of course, I've missed the previous episode where I showed off all the driver lineups, the liveries and whatnot as well, and then recommend you go and check them out. The link to the playlist as well to this series is in the description below, so you can of course catch up on the previous 64 episodes as well should you wish to. And of course, if you are new to the channel, then please do subscribe. We are trying to chase down 500 subscribers. I'm going to sort of set that as a little lane to see how close we can get before the new F1 game comes out, because after that I think then we can sort of set the next target after that. So I'm hoping we can get as close to 500 by the time the F1 game comes out. When it gets announced. I mean, it's not even been announced as of yet. But anyway, as I mentioned in the previous episode, some changes to some of the liveries. The Estrella Galicia logo, I'll probably butcher that name for the 15 millionth time. That logo is now on the front of the Mercedes, with Carlos Sainz driving in this career mode. Yeah, that's literally the only change there. McLaren, I fixed the paint. Not entirely sure about the Golf Blue. I might have to do a little bit of a fix with that at some point, but at least the orange now looks like the proper Popeye orange as opposed to that light orange as well. I've also fixed the Haas as well, so it's now in the Dutch coloured orange as opposed to the jumbo coloured orange as well. And we're also going for a new helmet. Again, this was the only other I did think about. I was half on a Manarin. It's not really the best helmet, to be honest. I mean, there are a load better on our race department, but just for the purpose of this series and using the ones in the podium pass, that was the, well, to change it up to of the ones that we haven't used so far, that was the next best one basically. But anyway, back to R&D. We're not quite there on able to get one of these ultimate upgrades. I'm thinking now, I want your guys' input on this. I'm thinking though that the next one has to be this ultimate drag reduction upgrade, because that way we can get it in the next. We've got a little bit of a gap between Bahrain and the third round Zandvoort to be able to get that ultimate upgrade on the car, and it shouldn't fail because we've got maxed out on all the facilities. We've got a minor drag reduction upgrade coming in as well on the front downforce side, so hopefully that will help us around Bahrain. But we got lucky last time out in Australia as well, getting on the podium, our first for Ferrari. Can we keep that momentum up? I mean, we did get very lucky with Albon and Sainz not pitting out of the safety car. Spoiler alert there, I should have mentioned. Front downforce upgrade then comes through, and literally that we're the only other team to upgrade are Williams. And Williams have almost caught Renault as well for the what is fourth to last slowest car. McLaren don't look, they're not actually that slow, bearing in mind, so they've looked quick, and AlphaTauri probably look faster than what we are at Ferrari as well in this car. But we will of course continue to make the upgrades, and hopefully we will soon be able to, well, fight for the front of the grid really, where Mercedes and Red Bull have sort of dominated at the front for the past 5 seasons of this career mode. We're just trying to make sure we can add Ferrari to the list of things before we round off this career mode and move on to F1 2021. But moving to qualifying then, under the lights here in the desert, just like it was on Saturday. We'll see if we can get into Q2, not into Q2, into the top 10, excuse me, short qualifying here. Like Sainz and Leclerc did, but our teammate Vettel and ourselves have not done that quite well. Vettel's just put his luck in the top 10, I would just believe. we're improving by 2/10 through that corner. A little bit shoddy on that exit. We lost almost half a tenth of lap time coming through that hairpin there, and again losing a little bit of time. The corners is definitely a little bit of an issue for me in this car. Whether or not that'll be solved, how do we go about solving getting the balance right with through the corners and getting us quickly? I'm not entirely sure which way to go on that, whether we do the upgrades or not, where we do the upgrades rather, excuse me. But anyway, we're three tenths up on our previous lap time. It's not really enough. We're through that final corner, 3.5 tenths up. Can we get up to 4 tenths up to decline? No, we can't, and it's going to be only 12th place outside the top 10 once again. So our qualifying form, when we got those 3 in a row in the top 10 at the end of the last season for Alpine, has gone down the drain, and now we're down outside the top 10. Norris and Giotto also outside the top 10. Leclerc gets in there. Sainz on pole. Can he stay there though? He did have a shocking start at the end of the last game. We'll have to wait and see. It's no time for the race for today's Bahrain Grand Prix.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Gasly, Albon, Max Verstappen and Magnussen, Vettel, Stroll, Zhou and Charles Leclerc, Norris and a Ferrari, Nicholas Latifi and Giotto, Russell, Kvyat, Esteban Ocon and Nick de Vries, Matsushita and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
I think we can. We're only just outside the top 10 in P12. I doubt we'll get a podium like we did at the previous time, unless we get lucky behind the safety car. I did think about switching it up and going from mediums to softs, but if, of course, you guys will remember we haven't. If you've been following this series, we haven't had that much luck on it. So I think we're just gonna follow the AI. We're going to once again do switch up and go take the softs a little bit longer to lap 7, and we'll pit for mediums. 5 red lights come on for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and away we go. And it's a good start, better than Norris, and a shocking start for Zhou as well. And both Aston Martin every race point down the inside of Vettel. Very cautious, and there's the Aston Martin has kept his foot in there, a Stroll, and I think he's lost a bit of his front wing, and now we're fighting Bottas up to turn 3. Can we go around the outside of the fin in the Mercedes? He's clipped the curb there. We've gone a little bit wide, but unlike Verstappen, we kept at least one wheel inside the track limits, and we move up another position as Stroll indeed was one who's lost his front left end plate Vettel, not really giving us any room. Now he's going to be holding people up going through the middle and third sector. As we look at the front, Pierre Gasly is the man who has made a flying start in the AlphaTauri. He leads from Carlos Sainz, although Gasly has had a number of times that he has been at the front and not been able to do that. As we watch now, Danny Kvyat in the Williams. He's lining up a move on one of the Alfa Romeos. He's just going to dive it down the inside into the hairpin, makes contact with the Alfa Romeo, and he is out of the race now, Kvyat, with an engine failure for them. So no points today. You got to get points in Australia for Williams. So but his retirement brought out the safety car, and we're going to come in for a set of hard tyres. And the reason why it's hard and not soft, so you might have just seen there a little bit on the heads-up display, the tyre wear was already at like 10% on the rears, as we've got an unsafe release in one to the racing points. It's Stroll actually doesn't matter anyway, far too ahead. The reason why I went for the hards is because I want the ease of mind of the tyre performance. I know it's a 25% race, but there still is a chance, obviously, of me getting a punch compared to the AI. The AI that did pit with us have come onto the mediums, but we're ahead of Bottas. We're effectively, if everybody makes their stop, up into a P2. We've got the restart now. We tried to get Gasly on the restart. He's now checking Matsushita in the Haas, who dives down the inside. We're going to follow him through. We have to take to the curb and trying to get the car stopped in time, and we having so much ERS and straight line speed, and it's just a big old dive bomb down the inside of what's that, 1, 2, 3 cars, I think it was, trying to get Matsushita and Russell, but we're ahead of Giovinazzi and put some cars between ourselves and those faster AlphaTauri and Mercedes of Gasly and Bottas. But Gasly, of course, he's on the move. He's on the better tire, what should be the better car with the better tyres, and he's passed Ocon, who hasn't been performing well as late, and now who's one of the Ferraris is now past Matsushita as well. So Matsushita is now starting to fall behind the grid. So we jump now into P10. We've got Gasly for company. A whole load of cars are now starting to come into the pits for their stop. Gasly, of course, is that AlphaTauri is very fast in a straight line, one of the fastest cars in a straight line. We're going to block him off and move up and retain what is P5, but will be, I believe, the race lead. But we've blocked off Gasly so much. This is the following lap that Bottas is going to have a go at Gasly. Remember, this could be for what is effectively second place on the road. You can see there that the Leclerc in the Renault is also up into what is an effective P4. So go side by side through the middle sector. Great racing between Gasly and Bottas here. Gasly retains the inside though, and he's going to force Bottas out and retain what is now P2. But Gasly now, he smells victory here for AlphaTauri. Bearing in mind he's still not got that move in this career mode to a better team, but we force him out the last corner, and that's going to allow Bottas, especially the fact we've got DRS. Gasly's just going to be a sitting duck. We're going to defend the inside. Bottas though, he's got a faster engine than us, and we're going to defend the inside. We're going to cut Bottas off. So he did try to have a look at the inside of us. Now Bottas will be the one that is vulnerable to an attack, and Gasly's going to come back at Bottas, same place, and Bottas, they both take the same lines as they did the previous time, and Gasly has the inside line again. And Leclerc in the Renault is now smelling a chance of a rare podium for the Renault team. As Gasly and Bottas both go side with DRS, we're going to dive it down the inside, try and make it 3 wide. We take a lot of the curbing to try and give them as much space as possible. And we have the ultimate line through that corner, and Leclerc has got ahead of Gasly actually. Here's a replay. Yeah, we took as much as possible. A little bit of contact with Bottas there. Tried to give them as much space as possible. We did go 3 wide, and Leclerc just gets the better line of Gasly, and Gasly is that. Meanwhile, behind our big train that's forming, Nick de Vries is in the top 10 as well. He's got the 2 Red Bulls for company, who are lowly points. This is only for what is 8th place. with the two Red Bulls headed by Albon sandwiching Kevin Magnussen as Bottas has a look around the outside, the final corner. He gives his DRS again. That's going to allow Leclerc as well to have a go as we move on to lap 13, and Leclerc is now down the inside into turn 1 and moves up into P2. So this is good for us because Leclerc is slower than me, because the how dreadful that Renault car is. He is catching us though through the middle sector. The pace really isn't there in the middle sector. The first sector I can match the AI level, but they can't. Leclerc couldn't catch us, and we come out the final corner. The fireworks have gone off for us, not Lando Norris, and we've won the race for Ferrari in only our second outing for the team. Lucky again.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, Crofty, this was won through an abundance of speed and an abundance of skillful overtakes. Inside, outside, cutting underneath, we saw it all today. And it's really nice to see a Grand Prix won in that manner. A race, surely, that will satisfy the purists today, I think.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
So, 2 wins in 4 races now. Could this be a chance? Dare I say it? World champion? I don't know. We haven't won a world championship in a driver career mode since F1 2017. It's been that long. Nick De Vries unlucky. He fell outside the points, so no points for Haas. Don't think Haas have actually scored points for about 3 seasons, so yes. But we have the lead in the Drivers' World Championship. 7 points over Valtteri Bottas, 12 points over Max Verstappen, Gasly as well in P4. We've been consistent as well. So I think yes. I don't think the car's there to actually challenge Mercedes, but Mercedes, the science has been screwed over 2 times so far by the safety car, and is in P9, so he definitely has the pace. It's just whether or not we can hand that. Ferrari are top of the Drivers' Championship, 16 points over Mercedes, so we're on for a top 3 finish in the championship. I definitely think we can take the fight to Gasly and AlphaTauri in terms of this career mode. Mercedes and Red Bull, we'll have to wait and see. I'll have to get those upgrades on.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Yes, well, we dive bombed it down, and we also had a little bit of out with the powertrain.
Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better.
Luck has changed. Our luck hasn't changed. It's continued, Claire. Continued.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
Well, they are. I mean, they bribed into the safety car to come out at the right time. We can't get complacent, though.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, we definitely can't get complacent. I mean, we were only fighting for the lower half of the points, really. So, without the safety cars, yeah, without the safety cars to come and help us in both races, we would only be in the bottom half, the top 10. Rivalry, De Vries is sort of breaking the row of what's the word? The norm, where we have a rival and he actually outperforms us. That's to be expected with the Haas car being absolutely dreadful. I am still thinking about doing this ultimate drag reduction upgrade. If we do that, that will all these upgrades, whichever one. I still want you to let me know in the comments below, though, which one. There's a tyre wear one. That's the issue with the Ferrari tree. We could do a brakes upgrade on the ultimate one, or we've got one engine power. I'm sort of leaning against this one because we've got 2 major engine upgrades from Ferrari coming around Hungary, Belgium time, so that's going to move the engine up anyway, so I don't want to spend the resource points on that engine side when we're going to be getting the upgrades anyway. Yes, in terms of the Drivers' Championship then, we have the lead. Can we stay there? I'm not so sure. Verstappen hasn't looked like a world champion defending his crown today. Did absolutely struggled. Sainz gets screwed over by the safety car twice now. He's been unlucky, so I think Sainz has got more to show. Verstappen has definitely got more to show. We don't know where Bottas. He's literally just been consistent there. 2 podiums. He's the only, apart from us, 2 podiums and 2. Gasly, we'll see where he can go as well. Whether or not he can take that extra step up or not. But yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel for news. See plenty more episodes of the F1 2020 Driver of Career Mode with Ferrari as and when they come out. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day. And goodbye.